Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back to the roast. Final 30 minutes before the changeover. It'll be a quick one because we have a show meeting. You boys got things to do, so let Willard and Dibs know. No 9:26
Are
today.
you going to the gym?
Not today. I have a quick turnaround with OKC. Went yesterday. I'll go back tomorrow.
Nice.
Not today, though. Not
Nice.
today.
Nice.
I got to get a haircut and do all these things.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
You asked. I tell you.
I know.
Matt Barrows.
Spadoni asks, and I tell him.
No, you tell us. We don't ask. I'm kidding.
From here on out, I'm
kidding.
leaving.
Yeah, I know. You do it all the time now, and it's really annoying. But it's all good. It's all good. We love you.
Well, now it's part of my bit.
Yeah, I know it is. Matt Barrows, senior 49ers insider for The Athletic. He's covered the Niners since 2003. Of course, former beat writer with the Sacramento Bee and the author of If These Walls Could Talk, stories from the Niners sideline, locker room, and press box with Joe Staley. And look, the legal tampering period starts next Monday. Deadline for the franchise tag is today. What will the 49ers do with Brock Purdy scheduled for surgery on Friday? Hopefully we can clear that out with Matt Barrows as he joins us here on the Morning Roast for the first time, making his debut on the Morning Roast. Joe Shasky, the Butcher Bonte Hill. Matt, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're good. We're just kind of sifting through everything that's happening in the world of football. A lot of money getting flown around with Derek Carr. And, of course, we're on Jimmy Garoppolo watch. So, first and foremost, Brock Purdy. Do we know a set date? I've seen Wednesday. I've seen Friday. Hell, we thought it was 2 weeks ago. What's going on with Brock Purdy and the surgery, Matt?
Yeah, it's Friday. So he goes, he met his doctor in Arizona. The doctor is out in Arizona because he's a baseball doctor, and the Rangers are doing spring training there. And so they met, and they decided, okay, now if we get the green light to go ahead with the surgery. They go back to Texas, to the Dallas area, and then on Friday, he opens up the elbow, and they go in, and that really, to me, sort of dictates a lot of the 49ers' free agency, because I think if they go in and it's all as expected, they do the internal brace procedure, 6-month time frame, Brock Purdy is back in full around the time of the start of the regular season, I think the 49ers kind of stick to their plan and go with a very low-tier veteran quarterback in free agency, Mason Rudolph type of guy. But if it's a more severe injury, if he's out for 9 months and possible that he's out for the full season, I think that they have to go for a more high-profile quarterback. So you're talking about your Matt Ryans or your Jacoby Brissett's or your Andy Dalton, somebody that you can rely on if Trey Lance gets injured again and this veteran has to take over the offense.
It feels like Trey Lance, just my interpretation of reading the tea leaves here, it feels like they're very low on him. Is that true? I'm talking about the team, the players, the organization, collectively, they're low on him right now.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think they can be. This is the guy. They're going to have to really rely on him. I mentioned Brock Purdy coming back in 6 months around the start of the regular season. That means that he's back to being able to practice for the first time since January. So it's not like as soon as Brock Purdy is cleared, he gets the keys to the kingdom and he runs the team. It's going to be Trey Lance's team and May OTAs, the June minicamp, August training camp, August preseason, and September, the first few games. So I don't think that they're low on him. I just think it's, out of sight, out of mind type of thing. You just haven't seen Trey Lance in the longest time. He's got to have a big off-season, however, a big spring and a big summer, and to really kind of take control of this team in the fall.
In your years of watching this team, because I keep coming back to, like, how's he going to win over everybody at practice and in camp and all that stuff? Because clearly the fans, we're not going to see those things, right? But you're there, you're seeing all this stuff, and you're seeing how the teammates react. You think he can win over the organization in the locker room by showcasing himself at these OTAs and these mini camps?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him do it last year. I really thought he handled it well last spring. And it was a bigger question last spring because he really hadn't done it.
Right.
He's coming off a a rookie season, and he played a little bit, and this, that, and the other. But remember, it was last year. It was Jimmy Garoppolo who was hurt, and was in this state of limbo. We had no idea who Brock Purdy was, and it was Trey Lance and Nate Sudfeld, and obviously it was all Lance. And the question was, is this guy a leader? Can he, take control of the locker room? Can he handle all the media stuff that comes with being the number one quarterback? And I really think he did well. I mean, I gave him A pluses in that regard. Going into the season, there was no question that he was the guy. And obviously the injury against the Seahawks changed all that, and a lot of water has flowed under that bridge since then. But just as far as last offseason and what he did and how he impressed people, he was absolutely on the right track.
Matt Barrows, the Athletic, here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Real quick on the Trey Lance stuff. I got a couple questions here for you. One, are we sure that Jimmy Garoppolo's done as a 49er? You brought him up, and we were all shocked that he was back last year. Is he officially done with the Niners?
You can never say that, but
that's what I'm saying.
Kyle Shanahan had a very blunt answer in February about it. And John Lynch was asked at the Combine just last week the same thing. He was much more diplomatic about his answer, but the kernel of the answer was the same, which was, we're moving on, he's moving on. I mean, you saw the huge money that Geno Smith got yesterday from the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been kind of toying with, Jimmy Garoppolo might get $15 million on the open market. Now I think the thinking is it's higher. I mean, it's in the $20 million area. So that's a figure that the 49ers couldn't handle. And B, I mean, Garoppolo would jump at that opportunity to be the guy in a place like the New York Jets or the Las Vegas Raiders or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, I think that's what we're looking at right now.
Wow, Don Yee is somewhere jumping for joy when he saw that Derek Carr and Geno Smith contract, Matt. Last on Trey Lance, you think this is the final year? Do you believe this is the final year he could prove to be the guy here in the Bay Area?
I mean, he's going to get his shot for sure. I mean, like I said, it's going to be his team into September. To me, it's been about injuries with him. The big issue coming out of North Dakota State was just lack of experience, lack of throws, pass attempts in college. And the whole idea was to sort of change that, work him in slowly as a rookie. That sort of changed. Remember that rookie season he had? He came in Detroit and threw, I forget what it was.
Trent Sherfield,
half a dozen throws. Yeah. And then in week 2 was the same thing in Philly. And then it was crickets until Garoppolo was injured and he started a full game. But that plan sort of went awry. And then obviously the injury last year was, just calamitous as far as getting experience and getting the things that he needs. So here we are going to year 3, and it's the same issue, really, as it was when he was a rookie. He just needs more reps. The silver lining in all this quarterback drama, all of these injuries, is that he's going to get those reps. He's going to get as many reps as he can handle for the second straight off season, which I think can only help the guy. So I'm expecting him to be dramatically different and to sort of change the narrative that we're hearing right now about him.
Yeah, I referenced Jimmy Ward and Eric Armstead as two guys who had checkered, positional inconsistencies and injuries throughout the first couple years of their career, and then boom, popped and were key contributors to great teams. This is very different, obviously, but who's the guy internally? Who's the guy internally? Because it feels like we don't even know who the heck drafted. Like, I hear sometimes it's Shanahan and sometimes it's Lynch, it's the group, and we did it collectively. Who's his biggest champion inside that organization? Trey Lance. Who do you think it is?
We're talking about Trey Lance. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because it's almost good cop, bad cop. Like John Lynch is the mom of the organization, and Kyle Shanahan is the dad. I mean, Kyle Shanahan has to kind of dole out the bad news and do the hard coaching, and then John Lynch sort of puts everything together. It's sort of how I described their reactions to questions about Jimmy Garoppolo. Shanahan was very blunt. I don't see any scenario where he comes back. And like I said, Lynch was a lot more diplomatic. I mean, it's Shanahan, though, who picks the quarterback. He has the final say on that. Mm-hmm. And you have to go back to that draft in 2021. Trey Lance was sort of the dark horse, the guy that people knew the least about. But these guys, and Shanahan leading the charge, saw something in him. The mental makeup, the character, the size. I think that they loved the fact that he could run the ball. All those things that made them say, you know what, it's going to be a slow ramp up, but at the end of the day, we're going to have something in this guy. He just has all of the foundational characteristics that we want. And we're going to mold him into a super quarterback. It's not going to happen right off the bat. We're going to have to deal with the frustration of the media asking all the time, when's Trey going to play? When's Trey going to play? Mm-hmm. But if we kind of, grit our teeth and bear that, we're going to have something. Now, I think it's probably taken already longer than they wanted to because of the injury, but I think that sentiment still exists.
Interesting stuff. Matt Barrows here on One Roast. Before we get you out of here, outside of the quarterback spot, what's the priority for the 49ers? Is it right tackle? Is it center? Is it a DN, another edge rusher, a kicker maybe, or safety? I know Bates out there from Cincinnati is not going to get franchised. He's a nice safety, a cover safety who's only 25 years old. What do you believe is the biggest need outside of the quarterback spot, Matt?
Yeah, they need to ask themselves if Mike McGlinchey moves on and looking for all the world as if that's going to happen. Who's going to play right tackle for us? Are we going to give it to Colton McKivitz? And Colton McKivitz was the guy just a few years ago who, A, got cut for a little bit, and then B, when he came back, they wanted to move him to guard. So, he doesn't have the athleticism that ideally they'd like. I mean, I think they really like the makeup of him. Tough guy, smart. Is he going to be the guy? Is Jalen Moore, who essentially was the backup left tackle last year to Trent Williams, is he going to be the guy? I think that because they're so hard to find in the draft, and you're drafting at pick 100, very unlikely that a starter, certainly a 2023 starter at right tackle, is going to drop to you there. That you let's say Mike McGlinchey goes for $15.5 million average per year. You've got to find the guy who's commanding half of that. Somebody that you think that you can rely on isn't going to be quite as good. I think that's got to be the case. Maybe you develop somebody down the line who is, but if you're not willing to pay Mike McGlinchey that amount of money in free agency, you're going to get somebody lesser. But I think they still need to kind of look and find that mid-tier offensive tackle, somebody that they at least can feel fairly confident with for a full season.
No doubt. Going to be a fascinating offseason for the 49ers, and it all starts on Friday with the Brock Purdy surgery. We'll get some news about that, how long he may be out, and then it's on Monday with the legal tampering period beginning in the NFL. Matt, thanks so much, man. A lot of fun with you. Good insight on the 49ers.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Talk to you guys soon.
Anytime. Matt Barrows here on the Morning Roast on 95.